lovelies, it's Imogen. Welcome back to another video. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. If you saw my last video, you'll have seen that I got the Goth Planner by Kirsty, who is Simply Spooky and Simply Gothic. I'll definitely put her links below, but I did a little unboxing and my first thoughts. And one of my thoughts was that this didn't come with any kind of tabs or bookmarks. So in this video, this is exactly what I'm going to be creating. So I took the images from the front of her planner, took a photograph of it, and then in ProCreate, I drew out some coffins. Once I was happy with the coffin shape, I filled them in black. I took a photograph of the front of her book and I cut out each of the images and resized them to fit within the little coffins. I then reproduced the coffin, lined them up and positioned each of the little icons with the corresponding months so I knew which order these little guys go in. I then found out the font that she used, which was Old London, and I created a January through December, just the first few letters of each month denoting which tab was which. Once I was happy with all of the tabs that I created, I then printed them out twice, so I had 24 little tabs, which then using my Westcott embroidery scissors, I cut out each of the little coffins. The Westcott embroidery scissors are absolutely fantastic for fussy cutting very small detailed pieces. So I was able to cut out the coffins very carefully as close to the line as possible. Once I completed this, I glued each of the coffins back to back with its corresponding month. I noticed that there was a white edge around the coffins, so I simply took a sharpie and filled in around the edges very carefully, so as not to go over onto the imagery itself, but just to fill in that white edge around the outside. Once I finished doing this, I checked to make sure that I was happy with the placement of the coffins along the side and how exactly I wanted to attach them. I then put each of the coffins inside plastic A5 laminating pouch and I laminated them. Went over them a good 3, 4, 5, 6, a dozen or so times just to make sure that they're really well adhered down. I've put this through in every direction which way possible multiple times over just to make sure that they are absolutely secure. There's always going to be that air pocket around the outside of whatever it is you're laminating, so always make sure that you don't cut too close to that, otherwise your laminating pouches could come apart. While I was at it, I decided to laminate this little ghosty guy and try and make a bookmark. This actually turned out really well and I am super impressed with the results. So I simply peeled him off his sticky backing, placed him with inside a laminating pouch right as close to the top as I possibly could, and then ran him through the laminator just as I had done with the coffins. Once I'd finished laminating, I roughly cut around them, leaving enough space to be able to attach them to the planner pages. I took double-sided adhesive and ran it as close to the long edge of the coffins as I possibly could. I was then able to trim the excess plastic and have enough to be able to stick on each of the corresponding monthly pages. I did lose my measurements while doing this and I ended up doing 7 on the first row, which I meant to space them out a bit more equally and do 6. But I think I made up for that by creating an extra coffin that said 2022 and I adhered this to year at a glance page so it didn't look too off. While editing this footage, I realized that I've actually put 2021, not 2022. In my defense, it was quite late at night. But now I've realized this, I've rectified it, I've literally reprinted and cut it all out, inked it, re-laminated it, did all the little steps that I've just shown you. I decided it'd be easier to cut off the 2021 tab. They are really adhered to those pages and they will tear. So I just simply cut it off, made the new tab, and then glued using the double-sided adhesive tape straight over where the remainder of the previous tab was. So it is fixed. However, in the remainder of this video and in the next video, it will say 2021 still. But I'm hoping you can bear with me. You'll also get a sneak peek of my January setup. I did get the idea that I wanted to add this sew-on patch. It's a death head moth and I decided that this would be really cute on the front here. I still have yet to actually glue him down, but that's definitely something that I'm going to do in the near future. Now remember our little ghosty guy? If you watched my last video, you'll know that I said that I found a hack for this to be able to add more pages, ephemera, trackers, photos, whatever you want to add. And the way that I found of doing this is to take these long disc punches, which mine is the 365, it's the Happy Planner one, and basically if you punch holes into your item, then punch holes directly in the middle between the previous holes that you made. It fits perfectly on this planner. As you can see, I'm demonstrating it here where I just popped it onto the front and it works brilliantly. And because of the way that it's made, I don't have to take the planner apart, and I can simply adjust and move this to wherever I need it within the planner, or remove and add different pages, etc. I had some of these adhesive pockets, so I just cut them down from rectangles to slightly sort of triangular shapes, and I stuck one in the front and one in the back so I can add in any kind of business cards or receipts or sticker sets or anything that I wish to include and not lose. And I also did the same in the back, but I made sure to leave a gap in case I did decide that I want to add an elastic to this planner. And finally, I did a swatching test. I took my PaperMate InkJoy pens. These are the 0.7. And I simply, in no rhyme or reason, grabbed a pen, took the little protector thing off the nib, and I swatched each of the pens. And they all instantly dry. There is no bleeding, no ghosting, no smudging. I am really impressed with these pens. I took my VersaFine black ink pad and I stamped, and then I stamped again straight away and smudged it, and it literally hardly any smudging. It is so quick drying. I was really taken back by it. The pages are quite thick, as I previously said, but I'm very happy with the results. So in my last video I did a recording of the Goth Planner by Simply Spooky / Simply Gothic. I'll leave a link to Kirsty's social media and also that video below, and of course my social media if you want to go check that out. So if you like this video and you want to see my January setup, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you haven't already for notifications of my future videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be mindful of each other and take care of yourself. Bye!